Dispel the myth that Canadian Conservatives are fighting for the little guy. Pierre Poilievre recently declared that he was going to sell off 6,000 federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land, which I'm sure people are thinking, yes, that'll help with the housing crisis, but it won't, because it should be noted that big real estate executives are among the top donors to Pierre Poilievre's Conservatives. I'm sharing this in common with Doug Ford. And we've all seen how the multi-billion-dollar Doug Ford Greenbelt scandal went. But let's just say that hypothetically Pierre does want to solve the housing crisis. Then why would he have voted against building affordable and low-income housing in 2014 when the Conservatives were in power? And why did they vote against it in 2018 and 2019 when he was official opposition? It's because Pierre Poilievre, just like Doug Ford, does not care about having more low-income and affordable housing. Although, to be fair, I think that Pierre Poilievre just doesn't care, whereas Doug Ford actually wants to enrich his billionaire developer buddies. And if they were for the little guy, then why would Pierre Poilievre's Tories stack their top council with corporate lobbyists, with nearly half of the Conservatives' new governing body members being lobbyists for oil, pharma, real estate, and anti-union companies? You know, those anti-union groups fighting for the little guy. You know, big oil and big pharma fighting for the little guy. Or how about the fact that Toronto Hospital board members are largely wealthy and conservative, with 25% of hospital board positions in Toronto being given to people who are donors to the Conservative Party, whereas 110 board members were donors to John Tory, and only 5 board members were donors to progressive challengers. Or the fact that 3 times as many board members come from executive finance as do healthcare. Doug Ford and Pierre Poilievre don't care about the little guy. If they did, they wouldn't be so in bed with corporate finance and real estate developers. And listen, this isn't a defense of Justin Trudeau, but at the very least with Trudeau, we can see that he is trying, because CERB prevented millions of Canadians from going into poverty and losing their homes. The Canada Child Benefit has literally lifted 1 million Canadian children out of poverty. The daycare program has literally saved me 5 figures a year. Trudeau is still an elite, let's not make mistakes here. But Pierre Poilievre is literally the guy advocating against low-income housing. He was the guy who was advocating against CERB. He would have been okay with Canadians going bankrupt during the pandemic. He's the guy getting his advice from corporate lobbyists. He's the guy in the pocket of big real estate executives, which is why I keep saying that Canadian Conservatives are not here for the little guy. They never have, and they never will be.